Yeah,
They just got bought. There was this huge infusion of cash. No, we're not going to give you healthcare concessions. Screw you. You've got all this money, and we're gonna get what we want now because we're probably going to be able to get it, in another 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be less. I bet things are going to be business as usual for the UAW, and not much is going to change. The management team is still in place at Chrysler, so things are just going to be, status quo from here on out. So I don't see how Chrysler is going to get any better from this. That's why I want to see Wolfgang Bernhardt come in, because he's a breath of fresh air. He would change something. As of now, they bought the management. So what's going to change? What's going to be different? And nothing as far as we can tell.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't. You think in your head, how many times have private equity groups bought car companies? Usually when it happens, they buy niche automakers, exotic automakers.
Right.
I'm trying to think of
different.
When was the last time you remember a major automaker, like a full-line automaker, being bought by a private equity firm?
No, I
don't think I can remember it at all.
No, I can't think of anything in recent memory. But like I said, Cirrus has had their fingers. They got into the Delphi deal.
Mm-hmm.
They and then now Chrysler, and I don't know, they've had a lot of dealings with unions as well, getting back to my earlier point. So it should be interesting to see how they deal with the UAW when this really comes down to it. But let's just hope the focus is actually on the health of the company. And
I'd say it's hard to make a buck in the auto business. I don't know why you look at a company like that and you assume that their goal is to make a good investment and to get a return on their money, but man, you think there'd be like a paperclip company out there that gives you more return on your company than an automaker.
It's just it takes so much time for an automaker if it's struggling to turn it around, because they have to do it with product, and product takes a long time to develop and come through the pipeline.
Definitely. So, all right, I've already heard enough about Chrysler being sold today, so I want to get moving, and we'll move on to the next. Next. We actually have a few stories. There's a lot of mid-sized sedans in the news today. Not just today, in the last couple of last week, really.
Mm-hmm.
Who did this post? We got news that this is a funny one. Chevy dealers are being told by General Motors that they should go out, get a Camry, and put it in their showroom. Oh, rent the Camry?
Rent the Camry.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, because if they were to buy them, that's giving Toyota sales. So I think the recommendation that came from Detroit was go rent one and keep it in your showroom next to the new Malibu when that comes out.
That's funny.
I love that idea. First of all, I mean, that shows a lot of confidence in the Malibu as a product.
That's beyond confidence.
Listen, the Malibu is really nice. People are gonna. The Malibu will conquest sales from other imports like the Camry and like the Accord. I think that's a lot to happen. But this is very ballsy, as Damon said. To pretty much take the boogeyman of the boogeyman vehicle of the midsize segment and throw it in the middle of your showroom next to your new car, and pretty much hope for the best.
Well, they're going to be so well trained. If I've got no doubt at all that if this ever goes down, GM's going to have this 14-page corporate memo with bullet points and the whole breakdown. Okay, now here's what you want to point out. Here's what you don't want to point out. Here's all the little nitpicky things that
there is the human element there, Dan. I mean,
when they built the Malibu, they had a spreadsheet that they had the Toyota Camry in one column for every single specification.
Right.
And when they built the Malibu, they added an inch here, they added a horsepower there, and just like with trucks, they try to one up them on every single spec. So anything, it's good. On paper, all those salesmen are going to be able to say ours has 5 more horsepower, ours has 1 more inch of legroom, and that. But the ballsy thing is putting the emotional connection out there, with the goodwill that the Camry has, the safety image and all of that, and the reliability. To put that out there with your car and say, just based on emotion, choose mine. And the final decision is going to be in the consumer, in the moment, at the dealership. That is kind of ballsy. I think renting them is. What are they going to do? Just have them for like a week, or like
whatever? They just rent them long term from Enterprise or whoever. I mean, it's not like you can't rent a Camry. The Camry is a big fleet vehicle now.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of. I just think it's funny that they rent them and refuse to buy them. Because they buy them for like.
They're not going to rent them from Toyota. They'll rent them from a retailer.
Right. That's funny. They'll probably rent them from their own.
A little more on the other exciting news in the sedan front is we got our first spy shots.
Yes.
Of the what is it? It's going to be the 2008. We're pretty sure it's going to be the 2008 Honda Accord, and came through in a lot of the design elements we saw on the coupe that was unveiled. Where was that unveiled at?
The coupe was unveiled in Detroit.
Detroit, that's right.
Yeah.
So we're kind of seeing the front grille from that. We can actually see the entire car because we actually purchased these, which is just awesome. But anyway, so the grille's kind of carried over. The headlights are kind of swooped back a little bit more. I guess the big question for you guys is, do you guys see anything that's really outstanding on the design, or is it just another...
It's a very safe Honda design.
Yeah, it's proportioned. It's classy. It's no, it doesn't. I'm not like, I don't have an emotional reaction to it like I did like the Malibu. Like the Malibu, I said, "Wow, that's an attractive car."
Yeah.
The Accord isn't an attractive car, but it's a completely inoffensive car, and it'll probably handle great, have insane powertrains.
Mm-hmm. It'll have good gas mileage.
Right.
It'll have a decent interior, and people are going to buy it. So.
I mean, it's vanilla, but at the same time, it's really well executed.
It's
vanilla.
nice vanilla, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
And the thing I don't get about Toyota, I don't understand how they have the number one selling vehicle, or number one selling car in the U.S., with taking such risks with their design.
It's very strange looking. I still...
I'm amazed that they've managed to retain it and even build upon it.
Yeah.
Because it just, to me... It looks, the Camry looks huge to me, and this Accord looks a lot bigger to me than kind of current Accords and past Accords.
Yeah.
But obviously, cars just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right. Design aside, do we know what's going to power the new Accord? Do we have any ideas on that yet?
There's going to be the 4-cylinder model that's going to have the new advanced VTEC.
Right.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of an incentive to get the 4-cylinder. You get better gas mileage. You get the hot new technology from Honda. And it's going to appear in the Accord 4-cylinder first before it gets in the Civic,
right.
I think. And then you're going to have, I think, a 3.5-liter V6. That'll be in the 270 horsepower range, like they all are right now. And it'll probably be awesome. It's so funny that rolls off of our tongues that, it's going to be awesome. And that's the power of a good reputation,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the engine's going to totally suck. But everyone out there is saying... that's the thing. We don't have
the last 20 years,
the
Honda engines just haven't sucked. So that's just the way it goes. Alex.
Yes.
What do you think of the new Saab?
I like the new Saab. I like the new front end. I like the new front end a lot. Mm-hmm. I wish I could see more. We've seen the spy shots, so we actually have seen more than the official photos that GM released.
Why have the 4 photos they released only been head-on shots or like slightly off-center?
They're totally just teasing it because it's not coming out until June 10th, the big, shindig where they're going to reveal the whole thing.
Do we mention the Saab 9.3?
Yeah, that is, yes, Saab, the new Saab 9.3, so it has the Aero X look in front. They reach into the Heritage bin and put a clamshell hood on it. And we know that the U.S. market cars are going to come in 2 trim levels, 2.0T and 2.8 V6. So that's for the Aero. And in other markets... it doesn't have a T attached to it, and
so we're assuming it isn't, yeah.
We're going to assume it's not. In other markets are going to get gasoline, diesel, and the biopower. Biopower is obviously going to be in Sweden because that's a huge seller there,
right?
And it's confirmed for Australia and I think the UK as well.
I have totally loved the 9.3 ever since the last iteration when it got on the Epsilon platform. I think it's always been a super, super sharp-looking sedan. Mm-hmm. When I saw the spy photos for this originally and saw that front end, I'll be honest, I was horrified. It was not a pretty-looking sedan in the spy shots. But it looks extremely good. It was
blacked out in the spy shots, and now you see how
you can actually see it.
It looks
really
extremely
nice
good.
use of chrome, too. That's hard to do nowadays, especially with the watch super thing.
Really curious to see what the interior looks like.
Yeah, well, it'll be quirky Saab, and that's how Saab gets by. Because
but to what extent? There's still going to be parts bin stuff in there.
Yeah, they're not nearly as quirky as they were 15 years ago.